So it's 10 minutes before game time.
Yeah, so why do we need to waste 10 minutes talking about nonsense?
Pretty sick
We can do
stuff.
it
Pre-game.
No, we do
No,
Yeah.
Joey,
I only
you
know
are
'cause,
out of your element.
I did it with
He
you.
and I talk,
We started.
and then we kill it for a little bit. We talk for a few minutes, 10 minutes left. We kill it for 5, and then we come back to the game.
Me and him talked
Oh, well, that's not how we're doing
right
it
when they
tonight.
started the lineup.
That's not how we're doing it tonight. Steven, do you want to do some pregame?
Sure.
I mean, I don't know if Tommy's put us on air yet, though.
Let me finish eating.
Liking the shorts there,
Where's Gabe?
He's down
Oh,
there.
there he is. Gabe, you're looking good today. Oh, he's so good.
Just trying to play some soccer.
Doesn't matter because he looks good while doing it.
I don't want to go down there because everybody's gonna.
Hey, man, did you hit go on the website?
Hey, you're the kid. You're the kid that fell.
All right, perfect. Streaming's on. We're going to go on air soon. Do a little pregame. All right. How's it looking? All right, thanks,
Joe,
dude.
look at all those heritage
Call you
boys.
if you need anything. Family's life, too.
You need somebody
See you,
to
dude.
hold the
Peace.
camera. Oh, he's doing it.
Joey, yeah. Joey's got it. Do you want to do it? We can just kick Joey out.
1, 2, check, check. Syphilis.
Don't worry, we've already got it under control.
Exactly like the Regis
Testing.
red jerseys.
Syphilis.
They have their names?
How close do you need to get to this for it to
Like,
show up?
Be like right in your mouth.
Well,
you're
you're
That's
quite
hot.
too. We'd probably have your volume turned all the way up.
Yeah. Is it working?
Yeah, it is.
Let me
there.
put her on.
All right, game. Steven, pregame. They're getting lined up. All right, kids. And
We're
gonna
here
go-
with the pregame nowadays. Hello, Raider fans, to this varsity soccer matchup between.
Go.
Hello, Regis soccer fans. Welcome to tonight's varsity soccer men's matchup between Regis Jesuit Raiders and the Heritage Eagles. We will now take a quick pause for the national anthem. And welcome back. If you didn't hear me, this is the boys varsity soccer matchup between your very own Regis Jesuit Raiders and the Heritage Eagles here right at home at Lou Kellogg Stadium from Regis Jesuit. I'm your play-by-play commentator, Steven Snyder, along here with my cameraman, Joey Bonnell, and my producer / color commentator, Joe Quigley. Great to have you here, Joe.
It's great to be here, Steven. It's going to be a great night. Going to be some great soccer we're going to see tonight. What are your keys to the game?
I think for the Raiders, coming off the Jesuit Classic, first they can't be have too much despair carrying with them, Joe. I mean, taking an 8-2 loss in your last game is hard to bounce back from. but I think they need to really look out for the wings. They try to play up the middle, and it never really works. If they look for the wing and more crosses, they can really have success. For the Heritage Eagles, I think you need to get in the Regis Raiders' head early. A couple quick goals, and we just see the Raiders kind of float downhill. If you can get 2 in the first half, you have a great chance of winning against the Raiders.
I 100% agree, Steven. I also think that the Raiders, if they want a good shot at winning this game, they have to they have to control this game. They have to get their early goal, and they have to hold on to it. They can't give up easy goals tonight.
That's true, Joe, and holding on to the ball is really key for the Raiders. As we saw against Marquette, last game, I think the possession statistics were somewhere around 84-16, which is absolutely ridiculous, Joe. I mean, that's just so low.
That is not Regis Jesuit soccer. Normally they possess the ball very, very well, so they need to do that again tonight.
And interesting thing here, Joe. I think, is Jeff Keiss starting tonight?
Jeff Keiss is indeed starting tonight at goalkeeper. Our normal starting goalie, Steven Shahara, has appeared to either broken or dislocated his right thumb, and he has it taped, but I don't think we'll be seeing him tonight, Steven.
I don't think we will either, Joe, and I think Jeff's really been waiting for this opportunity. He got an opportunity against Marquette, but they were already down 3-0 in a matter of about a minute, so Jeff did get in and end up letting in 5 against a very talented Marquette team, so we'll see what he can do here.
This is definitely Jeff's night to shine. This is his chance. He's been waiting for this, and I think he's really going to pull through for the Raiders.
So it looks like Mitch Rossi and Christian Nays are
Captains.
No. Excuse me, never mind. I thought they were sitting folks, but they had already started the starting lineup. So Christian Nays and Mitch Rossi, actually they might be starting or sitting on the bench. So we'll see when it comes game time, Joe.
I think the Raiders definitely have a good shot at winning this game tonight. They're looking very good when they're playing in-state games. Hopefully the Jesuit Classic doesn't get inside their head too much. An 8-2 loss is definitely demoralizing, but I think they'll do all right.
And you got to be really careful here, Joe. Heritage coming into this game 6-0-1, which means they don't have a single loss. So that's really interesting.
Interesting fact, the Raiders beat Heritage 2-0 last year in regular season play, but Heritage Eagles made it all the way to state championship last year, and the Regis Raiders did not. Heritage lost to East in the state championship last year, so they're the state runner-ups.
And they're definitely looking like in the other part of the season, Joe, 6-0-1. If you haven't lost a game, that's 19 points right there taken away, as it would be in league scoring. I don't know if high school uses league scoring, Joe, but
They don't use league scoring, but, it's nice to think about.
All right. Looks like manager Rick Wolf, very focused. Looks calm. Looks like he's having a good time out there in warm-ups. So I think that's the key for the Raiders, is to stay relaxed but tense at the same time. They don't need to be scared.
Steven, this is obviously a big game for the Raiders, but would you call it a must-win game?
Honestly, Joe, coming off the Jesuit Classic, I think it does need to be a must-win game for the Raiders. And Mitch Rossi and Christian Nays, both captains, both sitting, as we did mention earlier. That was a good insight there, Joe, and seeing that. So very interesting. Only captain on the field right now, Connor Walsh, with his golden head on defense.
It looks like we're going to have 3 new faces tonight in the starting lineup. We're going to have Scott Ryan, Cyrus Bebahani, and Jeff Keiss in goal for the Raiders. Normally in their positions, we would have captain midfielder Mitch Rossi, captain forward Christian Nays, and junior goalie Steven Shahara.
And, Joe, I know it seems interesting, but I absolutely love watching Cyrus play. I actually think it's a great move here by the Raiders. He's a little more defensive than most midfielders, but he has some fantastic skill. And at a young age as a sophomore, it's great to get him some experience too, Joe.
He also has one of the best slide tackles I've ever seen at the high school level for a sophomore. His slide tackle is absolutely textbook, and he comes away with the ball a very good amount of the time.
So here we go, folks. We look to kick off this 40-minute first half. Again, in case you're new to high school soccer rules, there is no stoppage time at the end of each half. It's 40 minutes, and then so not 45 minutes either, so it's a little shorter half. So Heritage kicks it off, but quickly given away. Adam Mania controls, gets it outside to Drew Schmidt, who tries to give and go with Mania, can't quite get there. Drew Schmidt getting it back to Connor Walsh, who's going to make a great run and a through ball to Adam Mania. The Raiders might already have something here running down in. Adam Mania in the box. Oh, great move there by Adam. Passes up top to 11. Scott Ryan, already a goal for the Raiders. 25 seconds in, Joe.
Absolutely beautiful play from the Raiders. That is textbook performance. It all started with Connor Walsh winning the ball in this midfield, sending the long ball down the side. It was absolutely beautiful finish from Scott Ryan. Scott Ryan, not a normal starter, but he's already proven himself worthy to be out here.
Great move there by, or great tenacity there by Connor Walsh. And it looks like they're only playing a 3-back set tonight, the Raiders. It looks like they're playing a 3-1-4-2.
To me, it looks more like a stopper-sweeper combo. I think it's much more defensive with Brandon Imbow at the back. He's got a very strong foot, be able to clear those balls out.
Heritage trying to counter here. Already a man in the box, gets a shot, but Jeff Keiss, after the deflection, will control that easily and push the Raiders up. 25 seconds, Joe.
That's exactly what the Raiders needed. The Raiders needed an early goal. I guess however early it comes, they'll take it, but that's exactly what they needed. Let's see if they can add to it and keep it.
And I think, Joe, the concern for the Raiders managers have to be right here is that they might get a little too relaxed. I mean, do you think that goal possibly could have been too quick if the Raiders let up?
It could be. As long as they keep playing this fast and that aggressive, it'll be all right for the Raiders.
Heritage is going to boot it down, and Brandon Imbow will control it, but right to a Heritage player who can't control, and Connor Walsh bringing the ball up, and that's going to be a foul on Heritage. Looks like they kind of linked arms and went down. Heritage player staying down, but here we go. Brandon Imbow coming in for the free kick, and love to see this, Joe. I mean, he has just such a great kick.
It's an absolutely beautiful touch on the ball. We probably look from across from this distance, but if it gets close enough, you can expect him to shoot it. He's got an absolute cannon. Great touch on the ball, and here it goes. Crosses it in.
And the Heritage keeper is there to make the stop. So runs into his own player, but they'll both get up, and he'll hold on to the ball. Heritage looks to clear. Their goalie looks like number 1, Timothy Irwin, the senior. And this lineup really looking senior heavy for the Eagles here, Joe.
Absolutely. They only appear to have one freshman and a few sophomores on their team. They're a very senior-heavy team. We'll see how that leadership plays in. Very similar to last year's team, too. Got a lot of returning players.
And you like to see that, Joe. Heritage with a throw on the far side. Adam Mania goes up to contest it. Ooh, Connor Walsh bumped there. And, Joe, I'm not sure if it's a sweeper stopper because of how far up the field Connor Walsh is coming on these plays.
You know, maybe they're just trying a sweeper stopper when they're on defense, but if it's in the midfield, I think they're just going to have Connor Walsh push that wing because it worked in the first place, so why not try to do it again? Great dispossessing from Brandon Imbow in the midfield.
And here we go. Heritage still controlling right around midfield. They're just going to pass it around a little. Looking to get down the line on a quick give and go, but no can do. The Raiders are going to shut down that idea. And let's pass it back to their defense here. Eagles with a quick switch, but he can't control, and that's going to be a Raiders ball. Early the mistake there, Joe, and you really can't make that.
That's sloppy play from the Heritage Eagles, which is probably nerves or just a little mistake, but when you're down 1-0 already in this game, you can't be making mistakes like that. You tell he wants that one back.
Ian Shelton just can't quite get the pass there to Scott Ryan, and Heritage Eagles will look for a quick break. We'll see what they can do here. Oh, looking for a quick through ball to number 11 for the Eagles, Zach Melfi. But no, Clapp with the great defense, and that'll be a goal kick.
You know, Steven, I was talking to Clapp today before this game, and I was asking him what he wanted to be called on the airwaves, and he said that he wanted his nickname to be Connor the Viper Clapp. And I think that's just an absolute testament to how he plays. He just absolutely steals balls from attackers. He's a great defender.
And, you know, right indeed, Joe. I'm seeing a lot of early quick possession mistakes. Heritage maybe trying to run with it a little too much, Joe?
I think Heritage needs to start passing the ball around a little bit more. As everyone knows, the passing of the ball moves faster than someone can run, so they might be able to wear down the Raiders if they just pass the ball more.
Walsh to Ian Shelton. Shelton looking for Schmidt on the through. Oh, Schmidt with a great kick, but can't quite find it. But that'll be controlled by Scott Ryan. And Scott gets a little tangled up in midfield. Heritage is going to come away with the ball. But then Heritage misses it. And Inbound's going to get it outside to Mania. Oh, Mania tries to chip it over, but can't quite get it. Ball really hectic here until Heritage is able to clear. Number 6 for the Eagles, Bryson Jacobs trying to chase it down against Clapp. And Clapp absolutely being clutch tonight, but Bryson Jacobs going to control. Finds number 13 in the center, Jake Peterson, but no can do.
Matt Muniz cut out that shot. He was ready for it the whole way. I think that's what the Heritage Eagles need to do. They need to start sending their wings and looking for their pass, their short passes in the middle, and that's what got them that shot there. So we can probably look to see that again.
I definitely think so, Joe, but, I mean, the far wing's not going to work too well if Connor Clapp keeps playing like that.
Connor Clapp's an absolutely phenomenal defender. He's going to have a good night.
Cut out there by Drew Schmidt. Another corner kick for the Eagles.
Corner kick again taken by Zach Melfi. Definitely looking like one of their more key players playing on the wing, looking for a lot of runs, taking their corners. We'll see how he makes an impact tonight.
Oh, Heritage's number 20, Will Hersey, the sophomore. Got ahead on that, but couldn't quite capitalize. Going over the bar there, and Brennan Imbow. One of the things you don't see a lot in high school is a defender taking the goal kicks because Imbow has such a leg on him.
Imbow's definitely got one of the stronger kicks on this team, so I can completely understand why they're having him send it forward instead of our goalie.
And here we go. Eagles controlling it in the backfield. Looking for the through ball, but Clapp there to keep that out. Oh, Connor Walsh coming through and keeping it. Ref says play on, and he will find Adam Mania on the wing. Adam Mania pressing forward, looking for the cross. Oh, be behind Scott Ryan, but Luis is going to get there. Luis Hernandez, can't quite control it. Ball bouncing around, and Heritage is going to be able to get that out. We'll see here Walsh challenging and shortly dispossessing. Number 18 for the Eagles, Conrad DeLewin.
That was a great play from the Raiders. There's got a lot of offense. They're working their wings across the field, looking for that Luis on the far side. Luis got to the ball but could not control it the way he wanted to. And that was a good defensive play from the Heritage Eagles. Sending it now down the side. Brandon Imbow there to clear it back to Matt Muniz, who sends it forward into a Heritage player, and they have it in the midfield.
And we'll see what the Raiders can do here. Adam Mania trying to control, looking for it down the wing to Drew Schmidt, but Drew Schmidt, Orion Shelton wasn't running. Be controlled by the goalkeeper, Timothy Irwin. So we'll see what they can do here. Irwin going to boot it deep, looking for some, but Matt Muniz there. Eagles just keeping after it, but Raiders defense saying no way, Joe.
The Raiders defense is definitely one of the stronger defenses I've seen in this league. Absolutely key players from Brandon Imbow, Connor Clapp, and Connor Walsh. Very, very strong players in the back.
Sorry, folks. Having a couple quick technical difficulties with our camera, but we'll continue to provide you with voice updates here as the Heritage Eagles send down the wing. Stopped by Adam Mania. Adam Mania centers. Heritage doesn't control. Luis Hernandez can't quite control it, but Eagles having trouble clearing their zone. Finally get it clear and headed on. Number 6 here, Bryson Jacobs. Trying to get through again. Can't quite do it, but Eagles, man, trying to get through, and it looks like the key players here are Jake Peterson and Bryson Jacobs, Joe.
Sorry about that, folks. One of our cords came loose in the camera, so we've got it all taken care of now.
Here we go. Adam Mania setting it up, taking his time down the wing. That'll be a Regis throw-in. Oh, miscommunication there by Schmidt and Mania, but it works. And Shelton has the ball. Shelton finds Scott Ryan, who's going to get it outside to Clapp. Clapp looks.
That distance is good.
Imbow to, no can do. And we'll see here.
You can tell Scott Ryan wants that one back. It just went right over his foot, and you can see him telling his players, yeah, that one's on me. It won't happen again.
And Joe, excuse me, Joe. Sorry about that. We're only 9 minutes into this game. It seems like we've played about 20 minutes of soccer.
Absolutely. It seems like this game's been going on a lot longer than it has. And interesting thing to notice about the Raiders lineup, we have midfielder Matt Muniz actually playing in the back four as defender. What do you think they're trying to do with him there, Steven?
He was very good coming into defensively against Marquette late in that Marquette game when they were down by so much. So I think they're trying him, and they're giving Walsh a little run up, and so far it's been a successful matchup here. Muniz able to stay with the offense. He is such a quick player that he is able to stay with those strikers very well, Joe.
The Raiders asking for a handball there. The ref didn't see it. It's going to be a play on, sending it back to their goalie. He's going to put it right into the head of his own player, and it's still in their end. Heritage throw-in.
Ouch, that looked like it hurt. And, Matt 20, Will Hurtsy, maybe looking a little dazed, hanging back there. That was like, and I can tell you, I've taken a soccer ball to the head before, Joe. That's like taking a train right to the side of your head. And for those of you who've taken trains to the side of your head, you know that hurts.
It does not feel good, but it looks like he's going to be all right. He's out there jogging around. He's back in it.
Muniz, great defense there. Clears the fence. Oh, excuse me. I thought he cleared the tall fence there, Joe.
You're hearing Mr. Ian Mulligan calling out orders to his defense, telling them that he's got to clear it a lot deeper, not just right to the sideline. It's got to go back upfield.
We'll see here. Oh, almost trickles through to number 4 for the Eagles, Ryan Barker, but it'll be cleared, and we'll see if Ian Sheldon can work his magic. He will not be able to because it's headed out by the Eagles. Eagles controlling in midfield, not successfully, and Drew Schmidt, but that'll be a handball on Drew Schmidt there, Joe.
That's a very blatant handball. The ref had to call. It's going to be a free kick from about the 40-yard line for the Heritage Eagles. What do you think they're going to try to do? You think they're going to try to cross it or play a short ball to someone in their midfield?
50 yards from the goal line, Joe, I imagine they have to cross it just because it's in that middle distance, like in football where you can't tell if you're going to kick a field goal or punt. It's right there, so I imagine they cross it.
Absolutely, and here it goes, and there's the cross looking for middle number 21.
Oh, that got scary. Connor Walsh headed it. Jeff Keiss was coming out to get it. And at first it looked like that header might have been on goal, but luckily it was to the side, so no harm done there except for maybe a little skip in the heartbeat of Jeff Keiss.
You know, very first start for Jeff Keiss in goal. Very first start as a varsity soccer player, and it looks like he's handling the pressure phenomenally.
So short throw to Scott Ryan. Scott Ryan, fantastic control, but can't quite control it. The Eagles, great defense by Brandon Imbow. And Scott Ryan will send Ian Shelton, who's going to head it forward, but Drew Schmidt's not going to be able to get there fast enough. And Heritage will take the throw on the other way.
Heritage playing a quick throw and looking for that long throw and down the side. Connor Clapp with the great defense, but number 6.
Bryson Jacobs, there he is again. So we'll see, luckily, Regis defense able to control. We'll see what Heritage does here. Number 17 with a big boot for the Eagles, Clint Corey, but Clint couldn't quite keep it there, so in control. So we'll see what's up.
Goal kick for the Raiders, again, going to be taken by Brandon Inbow. Looking just to clear it to his forwards. Very low line drive kick to Adam Mania on the far side. And Heritage comes away with it.
Quick shout-out to our fill-in cameraman for the moment, Jake Leonard, while Joey eats his dinner. So, great job, Jake.
Heritage controlling the ball in the midfield, sending the ball down to the wing to number 13. Jake Peterson controls it, looking for a cross, cuts it back on Connor Clapp. I don't think he was ready for that. There's the cross. Missed the touch by number 11, Zach Melfi. You can tell they want that back.
And they definitely do, Joe. We'll see with a corner kick. Their second one, very dangerous. Switching corner kick takers here for the Eagles. I don't know if the manager just wasn't satisfied or what. So Adam Bushek, the manager for the Eagles. Here we go with the corner kick.
And on the sideline right now, we have Captain Mitch Rossi getting loose, warming up. You think we're going to see him come in soon, Steve?
I definitely think we will. Jeff Keiss, another one he went up for. And I really think Jeff's height might be a disadvantage here right now.
Absolutely, but he makes up for it in his absolute tenacity. He's a very aggressive player, likes to jump up for the ball, but it works out in this favor.
So we'll see here, Raiders. Some fancy footwork moving the ball up. Haven't seen much of Cyrus Bibahani, who was one of our people we wanted to see really play, Joe. Big clear by the Eagles. Jeff's got to make sure this doesn't hop over his head, and he will control it and get there.
Jeff's a very, very sound technical goalkeeper. He might not have the height, but he has definitely got the skills to make up for it.
And here we go, through ball to Ian Shelton, and the ref will say, "You are offsides, Mr. Shelton." So ball coming back for a Heritage free kick.
You think we're going to see a cross out of the Heritage Eagles again, or is it too far away? You think they're just going to play it in the midfield?
You know, Joe, if you can kick it 75 yards for an accurate cross, I'd say go for it, but I don't know if pros can even do that.
You know, you might think they might try a really short cross, just send it right to outside the 18. Oh, and then there's the short pass to their midfield.
So Heritage controlling around the midfield. Going to get it into number 4, Ryan Barker. Barker going to get it back up top to 17, Clint Corey, who's going to play it outside to one of his men. Inside a quick give and go by Bryson Jacobs. That play looking similar to the play of Barcelona.
I like to call that Barcelona ball, Steven. Quick triangle play on the sideline, looking to get a run, and it worked very well. It gets Lionel Messi a lot of goals, doesn't it?
Definitely does, Joe, and you can see how well that play is known. We're on the same wavelength there. You call it Barcelona ball. I saw it similar to Barcelona, so that's definitely one of their trademarked plays.
Absolutely, and looks like we're going to have junior captain, Mitch Rossi in for the Raiders. And 2 substitutions for the Heritage Eagles. Number 2, Jacob Bruno, and number 15, Matt Clark.
Really interesting substitution there. Mitch Rossi came in for actually Scott Ryan, and Scott Ryan dropped back and took out Connor Clapp. So definitely an interesting formation change for the Raiders there as the Eagles push up, and it'll be out of bounds.
I think the managers here are trying to see what happens when they put 2 of their definitely midfield-minded players in the back. Maybe they're going to get a lot more attacks starting in their back and get a lot of quick goals like they did in the first 25 seconds of this game.
Heritage Eagles with a quick sub. So we'll see here. Looks like it was a Raiders throw-in, and Cyrus Bibahani managed to goof that one up. I didn't see how. 23:40 left in this first half.
And we have number 3, Luke Ryan, in for the Heritage Eagles. Out, we have number 16, David Harry.
And Joe, fun fact, I actually went to school with Luke Ryan back in middle school. So, very, very fun there. He was actually a 7th grader when I was an 8th grader. So I know Luke, and great kid and great soccer player.
So you like to hear, you like to see that, we might go to different schools, but at the end of the day, we're all still friends.
Indeed, Joe, and I think that's really the spirit of high school athletics, and that's what makes high school athletics so great, is that the competitive edge can give way to friendship immediately after the whistle blows, and there's not really any nasty rivalries. Even as we saw after the Mullen Regis game last week, all the players shaking hands.
And the long cross from Brandon Inbound down to number 17, Ian Sheldon, trying to control it.
Cyrus Bibahani getting his head in there, but Ian Sheldon's going to come away with the control. Looking for Luis Hernandez. Hernandez gets a low cross, more of a pass, but Luis is going to get it, and that'll be a Regis kick off a handball. I don't know if we'll see Brandon Inbound come up and take this because it's such a awkward angle quick cross. Brandon Inbound is actually going to hang way back with the lone Heritage forward, Jacob Bruno, who's hanging right around midfield. So we'll see what Ian Shelton can do here. Ian Shelton with the cross. See if maybe Connor Walsh can get ahead on this.
I think this angle is just far enough down that they can't take the shot. So there's the cross. Almost into Drew Schmidt, but cleared away from the Heritage Eagle defender.
And Matt Muniz actually going to get a foot on it and almost take a shot. So controlled by the Heritage goalkeeper, Timothy Irwin. So here's Luis Hernandez going to get back and control that. But Heritage able to come away with it. Number 13, Jake Peterson, trying to make a run for himself. He had an open player on the left side there, Joe.
Play on from the ref. You can tell that Jake Peterson was looking for a foul. It looked like their feet got tangled up, but the ref saw it clean and play on. Now they have it on their far sideline, trying to get something moving. There's a long ball cut out by Connor Walsh.
Beautiful bicycle kick clear there by Cyrus Bibahani. Header by Scott Ryan to Luis Hernandez. Oh, that was dirty.
Absolutely gorgeous skill from Luis Hernandez.
And he is absolutely fantastic with his feet, Joe. Christian Nay's captain coming on here for Cyrus Bibahani and pushing Drew Schmidt back into the midfield. So looks like we have a Heritage player down.
Number 17, Clint Corey, looks like he's injured for the Raiders.
And a quick shout-out here to Chris McCoy, who just hollered my name and waved. One of the few Regis students here in our crowd of about 19 for tonight's thriller.
And it's good to see that students are still coming out, even on a Thursday, supporting their fellow Raiders. Looks like number 17, Clint Corey's going to get up and walk off somewhat under his own power, going to get some help from his teammates, either his ankle or his knee, but he looks like he doesn't feel too good, very favoring that left leg. Hopefully we'll be able to see him come back in.
Speaking was clear. I think it might have sounded like 19. I meant 90. So decent-sized crowd here at Lou Kellogg for tonight's game, Joe.
Absolutely. And in for the Raiders now, we have number 6 senior captain Christian Nays coming in at forward. Drew Schmidt sending the ball down the sideline, gets cut out. Luis Hernandez looking back to Drew Schmidt. Plays it to Mitch Rossi, back to his defense, switching the fields, calming things down.
So we'll see here what the Raiders can do. Trying to push it through the back wall. Heritage controlling. Taking their time to set up. Luis Hernandez with a great cutout. And that's going to go out of bounds. Luke Ryan on the ball there.
That's a very simple squandering of possession by the Heritage Eagles. I think if he took a smaller touch, a little bit more controlled, he would have been able to catch that ball. But now it's Raiders' ball on the sideline.
Drew Schmidt controlling it. And Drew Schmidt's one of the best players I've ever seen being able to use his chest to control, Joe.
Absolutely. He's got a phenomenal control with his chest. Very, very undervalued skill. But if you have a very strong chest, it's good to have.
Jake Peterson running in on the Raiders again. Won't get a shot on.
There's going to be a foul on number 11, Scott Ryan. Referee just going to talk to Scott, not show him the card, but happens again, he's going to get a card.
Dangerous area, Joe, here. Looks like number 11, Zach Melfi stepping up to take the kick for Heritage. Jeff Keiss setting up his wall and defense the way he wants. Think they'll cross it or shoot it here, Joe?
I think they're definitely going to look for the shot. If you look, it's kind of a smaller wall, but it's still 4 people. There's the shot, and Jeff Keiss ready for it. Rebound goal for the Heritage Eagles.
Oh, and that just rebounded off Jeff Keiss. And looks like he's down. You might just be sad. Putting it in there for the Eagles. Looks like number 20 for the Eagles, Will Hersey, coming back in. Keiss is down. So I don't know if maybe one of the Eagles kicked him when he was trying to recover.
What I saw is it looked like he dove into the goalpost and ended up hitting his head on the side. Definitely does not feel good. He's definitely going to be down. Do you think we're going to see Steven Shahara come in, or do you think they're going to try to keep Jeff in?
I think they'll try to keep Jeff in. But with Steven's thumb, I don't know if we will even see him. We might even see Brian Cromie slipping into this game, Joe.
Maybe. And here we have the trainers coming out, signaled by the referees. We got Brian Cromie putting on his gloves, getting ready to check into the game. This will also be his first game of the season coming off his knee injury. He tore his meniscus back during the summer. This is going to be his first game back.
So definitely hoping Jeff is all right here. I didn't see the clear play, but I imagine they just got tangled up in the excitement of the goal. No fault to the Heritage players here, really, Joe.
Absolutely not. They played a good ball. There was a rebound, and they put it in the goal. We're going to have to see if the Raiders can get something going here after that.
So managers Rick Wolf and Adam Bushek talking to each other at midfield. So looks like very friendly and polite chat.
Absolutely. Soccer is a game of extreme class. We're all gentlemen here. Definitely like to see good respect from the team. And it looks like we have Jeff Keiss walking up under his own power. Looks a little shaken up, but hopefully he's okay. Getting a good round of applause from the crowd, and we're going to have junior Brian Cromie in the goal. His nickname is Memphis because right before his freshman year, he moved here from Memphis, Tennessee, and the goalie coach, Mr. Chris Walsweir, gave him that nickname, and it's stuck ever since.
Indeed, Joe. I remember my first day of soccer practice with Memphis, and really great kid. I hope he can put up some good saves here.
You know, it's been a rough 2 years for Memphis. He actually tore his meniscus, blew out his ACL, and broke his ankle all within the last 3 years. So it's good to see him get out there and play the sport he loves.
Definitely is. Looks like Jeff's going to be able to maybe come in later in the game. I'm not sure. Adam Manioff looking for the through ball off the kickoff, but no can do. Heritage will take the ball back, and we'll see what they can do here. Taking their time with the throw-in. Big throw-in. Looking downfield, but throws it into a bunch of Raiders. We'll see what Muniz can do here. Muniz is just going to have to clear because of the pressure from Bryson Jacobs.
I don't think Matt Muniz was ready for that ball to go as far as it did. It bounced right over his head, and he had to go back and chase it. And the Heritage Eagle player closing very quickly forced him to send it out of bounds.
And Jacob's going to kick it in, but Brian Cromie there, alert and looking good.
Already
Brian
barking
Cromie-
out orders to his defense. Let's see that kind of leadership.
And Brian Cromie does have a leg that neither Jeff nor Bones really has.
Bones is also Steven Shahara's nickname given to him by Coach Chris Walsweir.
And I believe, was that because of his goalie jersey freshman year?
Absolutely. His goalie jersey was actually a skeleton his freshman year. Coach Chris Walsweir gave him the nickname Bones, and it's stuck since then, too.
Indeed, Joe. And we'll see here what the Heritage Eagles can do. Controlling here, but kicking it right to Regis, and Regis is going to be able to clear.
And Ian Sheldon with the ball on the sideline, trying to get something going. Beautiful little flick over there, forcing the Eagles to send it out of bounds to give the Raiders time to get set up. You think they're going to go for a long throw in down the side or down to their midfield?
It looks like they threw it down to their midfield. My prediction skills really on tonight there after the play is completed. But Heritage maybe look for a counter here if they could control, but Mish Rossi able to control. And a wild leg by number 10, Michael Day, is going to give the Raiders a throw-in here right around midfield. Throws it into Christian Nays. That'll be one of Christian's first touches on the day. And Mitch Rossi knocked out. Man, number 10, Michael Day, really going after it there. Very physical player. A quick throw-in by the Eagles. And the Eagles going to switch it. And we'll see here.
Very aggressive defense of the Heritage Eagles. We haven't seen too much of that tonight, but they're starting to pick up on their back four.
Connor Walsh using his head to get it forward, as he normally does. Runs a give and go with Ian Shelton, but not able to keep the ball. And Heritage maybe looking for a quick counter here with the through ball down the line, but stopped by Adam Mania, who's going to stick with it and almost brings it up the line, but he's not going to be able to turn that.
He was very close, and you can tell he almost had it in because not the entire ball was over the line, thus still in bounds. It's a great hustle play from Adam Ian, not trying to give up on that.
Definitely, and Heritage making another sub. Number 6, Bryson Jacobs, one of their key players, coming out for a quick breather. A quick word with his manager. Manager looks satisfied with his play so far. So we'll see here. Throw in for the Raiders. And Raiders coming in, bringing up Matt Muniz to take it. And Walsh going to avoid that. Heritage looking for maybe a quick break. Scott Ryan's going to try to avoid that. Gets it up, and that'll be a foul. You can't jump on a player like that, Joe.
Dalton Lundberg looking to get that header. And it was a good idea trying to use the other player as a prop, but there's a reason that's against the rules. And the ref saw it, called the foul, and now the Raiders have it down in the attack.
Inbound to Adam Mania. Adam Mania almost got inside. Heritage defense able to control and kick it out. But we'll see here. Throwing for the Raiders in a dangerous zone. Drew Schmidt coming up to take the throw in.
Long throw in here, Steven? You think it's what we're going to see?
I definitely think so, because he's also about 10 feet back from the line with his run-up. Long throw by Drew Schmidt. Gets in the box of Ian Sheldon. Christian Nays there. Can't quite get it. And that'll be a corner kick for the Regis Jesuit Raiders.
It looks like Christian Nays got shoved off that ball a little bit, but there was no foul done because it was just a simple shoulder-to-shoulder play. We're going to have a corner kick from the Raiders, whom I believe to be Ian Sheldon's taking it. Puts up his hand. Here it comes for the Raiders. Far side looking for Connor Walsh. Cleared out. We're going to have Luis Hernandez, Matt Muniz on the ball, trying to get forward, lose his footings down the ground, and Heritage Eagles looking to clear.
And Connor Walsh able to, keep with that. The tenacious play of Connor Walsh today has been really surprising. And he will kick it off a Heritage player. Heritage avoiding the corner kick, but going to give Raiders a throw in deep zone. Drew Schmidt coming in for another long throw-in.
That was a very cheeky move by Connor Walsh there on the sideline. Just did a little spin move with the ball, and it worked phenomenally well for him. You'd love to see that kind of play.
Long throw-in by Drew Schmidt. Christian Nays looking for the header. Can't quite get it. We'll see if Heritage is able to clear, and they will. Looking for a quick counter here. Heritage Eagles down the side. Number 15 for the Eagles. Matt Clark able to keep the ball. Looking for the cross. And they say play on.
Referee keeps his flag down, but absolutely squandering that play, sending the ball well over the goal, almost through the football uprights. And you can tell that Matt Muniz and the rest of the Raiders back line thought he was offsides, but the ref said it kept his flag down, so it was a very dangerous play.
And that's the key to fantastic offense, Joe, is to make the crowd think you're offsides, but know you're onsides.
Absolutely, and that's what almost got them their goal.
We'll see here. Mitch Rossi controlling for the Raiders. 13:45 left in the half. And if you can believe it, Raiders fans, Raiders scoring their goal 26 minutes ago.
Absolutely gorgeous first play from the Raiders. Hopefully we can see that same thing again and start the second half or even right now.
And so we'll see here Scott Ryan taking the throw in. And he's going to get it to Harrison Thrasher. And they're going to say that's out of bounds. Harrison controlling it off his chest and down and out of bounds. So that'll be a throw in for the Heritage Eagles. Luke Ryan to take it.
Harrison Thrasher's a two-sport varsity athlete, which is in and of itself not very easy. But those two sports come in the same season, Steven. He plays varsity football and varsity soccer.
And that shows you the value of a really good foot for a football kicker. Matt Ryan.
An interesting fact about Harrison Thrasher, might be playing football at Stetson University next year, so we'll see how this year turns out for him.
And he has a fantastic leg, Joe. You love to see him kick, and that's going to be off the Eagles. Raiders throw around. Quick throw, definitely. Christian Ney is able to try to control that, but, man, a little bunch ball going on here, Joe.
They definitely need to spread out, control the field, use the entire pitch. This thing is 120 yards long and 100 yards wide for a reason.
Indeed, it really is, Joe. And we'll see here. Not going to be control. Is it really 100 yards wide?
Probably less in high school.
All right, I think it looks like about 50. Yeah, 50 or 60 here. But, yeah, sorry. High school, and actually interesting story spinning off that. High school fields vary in size regularly. I know when we went to the Mullen game, the field was about the size of one of Regis's halves.
Absolutely. I was talking to the manager, Rick Wolf, and he said the field was 75 yards long and about as wide as the football field. So imagine playing on the same width as those white lines and then 75 yards. It's a very, very small field.
Oh, shot there from outside by...
Very, very dangerous clear from Brandon Imbow. That did not come off the foot he wanted it to. And it went right over the crossbar. That was incredibly dangerous play.
I have to think that was going in there off the rocket of Zach Melfi. Cross here for Heritage, headed over the bar. Nothing for Cromie to worry about there.
Cromie's looking very comfortable in there. Sure, it might be his first start, but he knows this field well. He knows what it's like to play goalie. He's looking great back there.
11 minutes remaining in the first half. Big boot by Brandon Imbow. And we'll see here, Harrison Thrasher misses it, but the Eagles head it right to Christian Nays, who looks through Adam Mania. This is looking similar to the first play. We'll see what Adam can do here. Tries to cut it back and blocked, but that'll go out the end line for a corner kick for the Raiders. Very dangerous here for the Eagles.
I feel like Adam Mania should have looked for Luis Hernandez coming on the backside. Luis did not have a single player on him, but I definitely know it would have been hard to get that ball there. However, that pass had gotten through. That surely would have been a goal for the Raiders.
It almost looked like that he tried because his ball was going away from the goal when he kicked it. We'll see here Adam Mania with the corner kick. No can do, but Connor Walsh diving header to keep that in. Cross here. Nobody on the end of that one.
Scott Ryan going to control the ball. Going to send it. Ooh, quick dispossession from number 13, Jake Peterson. You don't think they're ready for that?
And number 15, Matt Clark, running down the side, looking for a quick counter. He's going to keep it, and he still has it. Oh, finally passes it back to Luke Ryan. Luke Ryan looking for a quick cross, number 11. Oh, number 13 controls it. No, Jake Peterson. Yes. Oh, and that looks like the World Cup goal the U.S. had against England a couple years back. Just went through the 5-hole. You don't get to say that a lot in soccer, Joe.
That was very Joe Hart-esque. You can see that Memphis wants that back. He knows he should have had it, and he definitely wants it back, but he'll get it. He'll prove himself out there. Trickling right through his hands, right into the goal. You see Mitch Rossi was almost there to clear it out.
Yellow card to number 13. I don't know what that was for. Excessive celebration is what it looks like.
And you can see that number 13, not very happy with that. Definitely giving the ref a piece of his mind. You don't like to see that out of these high school players. You just want to see class, just not say anything, just say, yes, sir, come off the field. And in high school, when you get a yellow card, you have to be subbed off, regardless of what the foul is. And you think we're going to see Jake Peterson come right back in after that yellow card? Or you think the manager's going to sit him down?
Oh, it looks like they're going to sit him down. They just handed him a penny after his goal. Heritage turning this game around really quickly, now 2-1. Heritage leading. So we'll see what the Raiders can do here. Nice move by Christian Nays to start it. Possibly looking for Adam Mania. Great move here. And he's looking on the other side for Luis Hernandez. Finally sees him. Luis with the volley. Great volley there by Luis. Saw the defenders coming and just couldn't quite put it on net, Joe.
That was a beautiful play from the Raiders. He was about a foot away from a goal. He volleyed it straight out of the air. Not very easy to do, but that was phenomenal play. Christian Nace has great vision, and Luis definitely tried to capitalize on it. That was absolutely gorgeous.
And if you're the Raiders, you've been playing solid soccer the entire time. How do you, if you're manager Rick Wolf, how do you explain to your players what they've been doing to get them down by a goal?
I feel like they've just been playing not clear first defense. I feel like they're looking to get offense going out of their defense before they clear the box.
And really interesting you say that, Joe. Normally Raiders playing a semi-clear first, but they're very a counter-attacking team. So when your own strategy is working against you, that can really hurt a team.
Absolutely, and it looks like the Heritage Eagles are using that strategy too. They're a very counter-attacking team themselves, and it's gotten them 2 goals.
And looks like Jack Flynn warming up on the sidelines for the Raiders. So we'll see if he sees some action here before the horn sounds on the end of the first half. Short pass by Imbao. Matt Munez getting it.
Heritage Eagles closing very quickly, and it looks like that. And the ball stays in, sending it deep, and it's going to be Brian Cromie letting it go out for a goal click. You hear manager Rick Wolf barking out his orders to the defense. He is not happy with what just happened out there.
And you got to think, Joe. It just came up when I was looking down at the bench. If Cromie lets in another goal like that, what's the proper response from the managers?
Looks like they either keep him in because your other goalie's hurt. Both of them are hurt. Looks like Jeff is going to be sit down for a long time. He looks a little shaken up. Steven still has his messed up thumb. He's getting worked on by the trainers right now. If Harrison Thrasher working the ball down the corner, loses possession in the box, going to be cleared out by the Heritage Eagles.
So we'll see. Oh, Raiders going to keep it in. Looking for another great switch to Luis. Oh, and Luis might have it here. Miscommunication by Heritage. But Heritage able to control Luke Ryan, but toss it right to Miss Rossi. And no, Heritage will be able to clear. No, they won't.
Heritage looking a little
Yes,
shaken
they
up.
will. No, they won't. Yes, they will. And finally, they will be able to. No, they won't. Connor Walsh controlling. And we'll see here. Great through ball to Luis Hernandez. Luis cuts it back. Oh, great cut. Looking for the cross, but can't quite get it. Oh, and it looks like the Heritage player got a tip of that. But, oh, Connor Walsh cutting off the ball. The only reason that wasn't a foul.
It looks like the Heritage Eagles defense is a little shaken up after what just happened with Luis Hernandez and Christian Nays. Look at they're very, very frazzled back there playing. Let's try to clear the ball with our heads, and it just keeps going back and forth. Big clear from the back four, sending their players forward. Brandon Imbal trying to get there. And Brian Cromie almost there. Great clear by Scott Ryan. That was a dangerous play.
And Scott Ryan running all the way from about the 50-yard line from what I saw, just sprinting the entire way, never giving up. And you can't give up, Joe. That's what saves goals, is it saved one there.
That's a testament to the Raiders' conditioning. You know they're a team known for running a lot, staying in shape, taking care of their fitness out there.
Cross by Heritage is going to be popped way up in the air. Oh, Cromie slips. And it almost gets by him. Very dangerous play by Brian Cromie there. And you got to be concerned if you're the managers watching a play like that. And I think that's why Steven Shahara is getting his hand taped up, and they're going to try to get him ready to play, Joe.
Looks like manager Rick Wolf is a little frustrated with what's going on in this back four defense right now. He just threw his hands up a little bit in disbelief, like, how can this be happening? What happened to the team that started this game?
And it looks like Brian Cromie tripped on that play, Joe, and then misjudged where the ball would land. But here we go, Drew Schmidt.
We have Jack Flynn on for the Raiders.
Jack Flynn just came on for the Raiders during that quick break. So we'll see Heritage trying to clear, Adam Mania trying to stop them, and he will briefly, but Heritage is going to control again.
The Raiders definitely need to get something going here, get something good to talk about going into this half. Christian Nays controlling the ball in the midfield, looking to go down the sideline. Tried to get across into Drew Schmidt, cleared out by number 20, Will Hersey.
That'll be a corner kick for the Raiders. Raiders definitely have a lot of good heads there in there for heading. Looks like they've dropped back to another 4-back. And it looks like the Raiders are back to a 4-back defense, Joe. That's very interesting.
Absolutely. I think this is the first game they're trying that stopper sweeper. They let in 2 goals in the first half, so let's go back to the 4-4-2 and see where that takes us.
And I really don't think those goals were because of the stopper sweeper, Joe.
I think they were just goals from rebounds off of keepers. Low cross from Luis Hernandez. Volleyed left foot, Brandon Imbow. Pardon me. Was that Adam Mania with his left foot out there? Did not get it hit right. Heritage Eagles making a sub. Number 12, Ryan Greenway is on for number 3, Luke Ryan.
Another interesting fact, Joe. I was in scouts with Ryan Greenway for 7 years.
How about that? You got Brandon Imbow playing defense down in the corner. Big first touch for the Heritage Eagle player. He's going to be out of bounds. It's going to be a goal kick for the Raiders.
Man, Joe, and Raiders, Heritage playing a lot of kick and chase, but they're so fast that they can play kick and chase because the Raiders defense can't keep up. I mean, I swear some of these soccer players can run a 4.040 out here that I'm seeing from the Heritage offense.
That's what makes soccer players special, Steven. They can run that 4.040 and then just keep running their 6-minute mile for the next 40 minutes. Absolutely phenomenal athletes out here.
And we'll see here, 3:15 left in the first half. So we'll see what they do here. Raiders controlling.
Luis Hernandez looking to control the ball in his midfield. Ooh, fakes the pass up, cuts it back again. Beautiful skill from Luis Hernandez. Sending it deep to Christian Nays. Going to be cleared to the middle to Drew Schmidt. Drew Schmidt looking for Christian Nays, trying to see what he's doing. Not great communication, but they got it to work out. It's going to be Raiders ball.
Communication is key, Joe. And it really, a little miscue there by the Raiders, but they're able to control. Scott Ryan controlling. Nice little touch. He's going to get it up to Luis, but that'll be out of bounds. Heritage throw in.
That was a great play from Luis Hernandez, trying to keep the ball in bounds, playing it from out of bounds to try to keep it in.
So we'll see here what the Raiders can do in this end of this half. Jack Flynn judging it and clearing it right into the Raiders bench. So we'll see here. Special guest in our studio, my volleyball commentator, Michael Bell. Great to have Michael here. Football commentator, Jake Leonard. And my soccer commentating buddy, Joe Quigley. I just feel so loved right now.
It's great to see all these students here. Great to have everybody come out to this game. Soccer's not the biggest popular sport in this school, but it's good to see having students out here.
And it really is, Joe. We'll see if Heritage can put in another quick one. So we'll see what they have here. Heritage with a quick throw, not able to get it in because Connor Walsh clears.
And it looks like big clear from the Raiders. Christian Nay's going to try to chase it down with 1.5 minutes left in this first half. And what do you think the Raiders are going to try to do with this minute? Do you think they're just going to sit back and play strong defense? You're going to look for a quick goal coming into the second half?
Heritage is such a counter-attacking team. I think you have to wait till the second half, Joe, unless you get a really good counter opportunity here like this one. Connor Walsh able to keep the ball. Little miscue there by Drew Schmidt. But Luis Hernandez has the ball on the wing. And looking, Connor Walsh not able to control, and he's going to have to pass back. And Scott Ryan not able to control that well. Throwing for Heritage. Deep in the Raiders zone. Going to get it in very quickly. But given away. Mitch Rossi able to keep it. And we'll see here. Mitch looking for the cross-field pass to Adam Mania. Heritage says no.
Heritage cutting that ball out. There's only 30 seconds left in this first half. Big throw in from the Raiders, trickling down the sideline to Heritage Eagle defender. And they're going to try to send it up through their midfield. Connor Walsh is going to control it. And they're going to have Matt Muniz send a long cross down to the middle. Gets past the Heritage Eagle defense, number 10, Michael Day, back to their goalie.
12 seconds left here as Heritage clears, maybe looking for a quick shot, but Matt Muniz will head that up and almost kill any opportunity of that. 4, 3, 2, 1, and that'll be the end of the first half here for the Raiders. So we'll be back in a second here with our Raider recap and our mystery announcers after the first half of play here at Luke Kellogg Stadium. Your Regis Jesuit Raiders 1, the Heritage Eagles 2.
Hi, and welcome to the Raider Recap. I'm Jorge,
And I'm Chris.
and this is a wonderful game we're watching tonight. Really beautiful night. Uh,
It really is. Raiders and Heritage are both looking really strong. Raiders came out with that early goal about 30 seconds in, and then Heritage came right back in the beginning of that half.
very unfortunate for Brian Cromie and his slip up. First game in after his knee injury over the summer, but he seemed to have picked it up right after, and we hope he does better this half.
Yeah, I think Raiders are looking pretty strong. They've got that great defense going now, and once they get to the midfield, it seems like they're really controlling that game. They're having a little bit of trouble capitalizing on those opportunities, but it seems like they are doing pretty great.
Just need to do a little better job of getting our goal in the back of the net, but just capitalize on those opportunities, like you said.
Yeah, and I think Heritage is doing a great job. Whenever the ball's coming down to our side, really, really capitalizing on those corner kicks. I think both of their goals, if I'm not mistaken, have been a result of those corner kicks. So they're doing a really great job.
Yes, they are. Thank you for listening.
hello and welcome back to the second half of play between your Regis Jesuit Raiders and the Heritage Eagles. We're going to have a great second half on tap for you here. We got Heritage 2, Regis Jesuit 1, and it looks like we're going to have the typical starting lineup from the beginning of the game, which the exception of Mitch Rossi is going to be in. And Jack Flynn will be starting too. So a few changes from the Raiders between the first half. What do you think we're going to see from the Raiders this half, Steven?
And I think we'll see a lot more running Jake down the side or Joe down the sidelines. So very key for the Raiders here, just to put it down the sidelines because.
And kickoff for the Raiders, going to play it back to Scott Ryan. Cyrus Bebahani looking in the middle. And it's going to be dispossessed. The Heritage looking for a quick counterattack through the middle. Cut out there by Jack Flynn. It's going to be a foul right good 10, 15 yards outside the box. Dangerous area, susceptible to a cross and a shot. It's going to be, we'll look to see what we can see from the Heritage Eagles here.
I think
Referee tell them to walk it back.
I think if you're the Heritage Eagles here, we definitely see a quick cross because of all the rebounds that have been occurring in this game. Looks like Steven Shahara is in net, though. Third goalie of the game for the Raiders.
Yep, Steven Shahara in net for Brian Cromie. Steven does have that, what appears to be broken thumb out there. Low shot from number 13, Jake Peterson, one of the goal scorers from earlier today. Steven Shahara sees that ball out on the end line. It's going to be a goal kick for the Raiders.
And we'll see here, Joe, what the Raiders do off this goal kick. I really think that the Raiders will be able to clear this and maybe get a run up here on the low side to Adam Mania. I mean, there is nobody down here with him.
It looks like they're just leaving him alone over there. It's almost like they forgot about him or something. Actually, Matt Muniz missing that ball. Steven Shahara coming out aggressive to play that. Goes out of bounds on the end line for the Raiders. This is going to be a goal kick. Very dangerous play again. Raiders really got to settle down back there and play that solid defense they're used to playing.
And, Joe, I think that's really why he's the main starting goalie, or has been at least the entire season, is because of instinct like that. Not everybody has it, and that's what makes a great goalie, Joe.
Absolutely, and that's what makes Steven Shahara the goalie he is. He's a very aggressive goalie, looking to slide out, looking to get to your feet, looking to take that ball from you, and he's very good at it.
And, Joe, I think based on the first half, I also think we'll see both teams using more of the pitch. I mean, they really didn't use much of the pitch in the first half. They're kind of playing bunch ball and going up one side. So I think the team that uses the pitch the best will win this game.
Absolutely. This pitch is looking magnificent tonight. I'd love to see these Raiders and Eagles use all of it. It's going to be a throw-in for the Heritage Eagles on the far sideline. Connor Walsh clearing the ball to the midfield. Number 17, Clint Curry controlling it. Good to see him back in the game and getting injured earlier. Mitch Rossi in the midfield turning it around, trying to play it back to someone that no one's open for him. You think he's got to be a little frustrated with that. Long ball down the sideline. Heritage can be out of bounds.
And we'll see here. I imagine the Raiders are just going to try to get it out of their zone because the goals that occurred were when they didn't clear it. So we'll probably see a quick throw and then a long kick. There's the quick throw. No long kick. Yep, there's the long kick.
Big clear from Brandon Nimbow looking for his forwards. Cyrus Bebahani tries to control the ball. Doesn't come down the way he wanted it to. It's going to be Heritage Eagles looking for attack. Almost a phenomenal move from number 4, Ryan Barker, but got cut out by the Raider defense. Keeping the ball in play, good hustle. Jack Flynn going to control it, send it to Scott Ryan. That ball's going to trickle out of bounds, be Heritage Eagle throwing.
And we'll see here what the Eagles do. I imagine they'll probably play a quick throw and no, they will play a long throw. See if they can get something to bounce around. Mitch Rossi gets his head there. But number 17 for the Eagles, Clint Corey, able to control that and get it to Greenway. Greenway looking up the side. We'll see what the Eagles can do. Finds number 6, Bryson Jacobs, who crosses it. And just missed there by the Eagles.
Looks like some feet got tangled there in the box. It looks like Steven Shahara almost fell over. Two of our players fell. It's absolute chaos down in there. Things get real aggressive down in that box.
There's that slide tackle you're talking about in the first half from Cyrus Bibahani. Great dispossession there. Connor Walsh with some serious tenacity tonight, Joe.
Connor Walsh is an absolutely aggressive player. Adam Ania winning that ball on the sideline. Slide tackle from number 12. It's going to be a throw-in. Ooh, a free kick for the Raiders right on the sideline. A foul called before the ball went out of bounds. Probably going to look to see Brandon Imbow cross it into his Raiders.
Especially only 55 yards from the box. I know that seems like a big number using only with 55, but with Imbow's leg, it's definitely possible, and there it is.
There it goes, looking for Luis backside. Doesn't quite get there. Connor Walsh going to try to win the ball at midfield. Walks into a double and take it away from him. Heritage Eagles countering through the midfield. Plays a ball through the far sideline, number 15. Matt Clark going to be out of bounds and throw in for the Raiders. We have a substitute coming on, number 5, Drew Schmidt, for junior captain Mitchell Rossi. What do you think they're trying to accomplish with this substitution, Steven?
I think Drew Schmidt is a lot better at making runs down on the offensive end for the Raiders, and I think they're looking to open up more lanes for maybe later in the half.
You see manager Rick Wolf telling Mitch what he needs to do out there for when he goes back in. Big clear from the Raiders, going back to the Heritage Eagle defense, plays it back to their goalie. Dangerous play. Adam Ania there the whole way. Connor Walsh clears it. Ian Sheldon's trying to get there. Great tussle for possession. Going to be a foul on Ian Sheldon. He's not too happy with that call, but there's nothing he can do about it now. Quick restart. Going to be down to the Heritage midfield. Looking to play it forward. Cleared out by Brandon Imbow. Great defense from the Raiders.
Indeed, Joe. And you're seeing a lot better clearing from the Raiders. I imagine that's one of the things Rick Wolf discussed with the Raiders at halftime, was getting that ball out of their end, not just getting it towards the sidelines in their end.
Long punt from the goalkeeper for Heritage, number 1, Timothy Irwin. That was basically a through ball in and of itself. Steven Shahara eats up that shot. Great textbook shot from Zach Melfi. Going to be a big punt from Steven. Gets it to midfield, looking for Cyrus Bebahani. Too short to get to that ball. Drew Schmidt ends up with it. Big ball in the air to Adam Ania. Touches it down, looking to get his run going. Cut out by number 12, Ryan Greenway. It's going to be a throw-in for the Raiders.
And we'll see here the Raiders maybe getting a little frustrated with these constant possessions down in the Heritage Eagles' end. They can't do anything with. Looks like we'll see Drew Schmidt. So that means a long throw-in. And we'll see they're sending Connor Walsh into the middle to maybe get that golden head of his on the ball.
Connor Walsh has got a phenomenal header in this game. I'm not surprised at all to see him. There he goes, looking to the middle. Ball's in the air. Connor Walsh almost there. Gets the back of his shoulder on it. Cyrus Bebahani almost puts it far side. That was a great header, but he wants it back. You can tell he's frustrated.
You definitely can. Connor Walsh run back to the box. Oh, dropped his headband.
Got to keep those golden locks out of his face so he can see what he's doing.
And
big goal kick from Timothy Irwin to his midfield. Going to be cut out by the Raiders. Scott Ryan controlling the ball. Plays to Adam Ania. Great touch from Adam Ania. 5-hole. Send it down to Ian Sheldon. Not going to be fast enough. Too far. Timothy Irwin scoops it up. It's going to be Eagle ball.
Great play there by the Raiders. They're figuring out what they can do to get by this Heritage defense. And it's all about the footwork. Raiders a very talented team with tricky footwork, so we'll see if they work that more, Joe.
Absolutely. The Raiders have got great skill moves, and I wouldn't be surprised to see them start working them more than they already have. It's going to be a foul on the Heritage Eagles. Free kick for the Raider defense back near their own goal. Probably going to look to see a quick cross, not to the box, but across the field, or maybe even a short pass to Jack Flynn.
I imagine we might see it to Luis Hernandez or Matt Muniz on that far side, but no, he'll pick the other side. Really interesting there because nobody was on the other side of that field, Joe.
Ian Sheldon was looking for it. He ran there really, really quickly. Scott Ryan trying to control the ball on the sideline, sends it out of bounds. It's going to be a Heritage Eagle throw-in once again. The Raiders don't look like they're playing the soccer they want to tonight, Steven.
And we'll see, Joe, what the Raiders can do here. Really just a couple unlucky bounces for the Raiders. They've been playing great soccer, and there's not really much more they can do, Joe, and it might just be one of those frustrating nights.
Absolutely. They started playing the game great, and they sort of trickled off. dangerous play from the Raiders, and then Steven Shahara practically tackling the Heritage Eagle player. Heritage Eagle bench absolutely livid. The manager looks like he's trying to come onto the field, absolutely chipped to bits down there on the Heritage Eagle bench. Pardon me. It's going to be a free kick for the Raiders, and that just goes to show you Steven Shahara's aggressive nature.
And if I were the Heritage Eagles coach watching that, I would be chipped to dust, not even bits. So, but we'll see Heritage keeping their head cool and controlling it and just trying to get back in it.
You can see number 13, Jake Peterson, was very upset with that call. He's trying to block the goal kick, but now it's going to be a Heritage Eagle free kick from just about the 30-yard line. Probably going to look to cross it in. Steven Shahara dictating his two-man wall. Definitely don't want to give anything easy. It's still necessary to have. Here comes the cross right over the wall, right to Steven Shahara. Eats it up.
Was that a shot, Joe?
It looks like it, but it did not seem to have the power you'd expect from a shot. It seemed kind of far away for a shot as well.
It really did. Maybe Heritage trying to get a rebound. I mean, that would seem logical after their first goal, at least.
Yeah, absolutely. Their rebounds got them their 2 goals, so I wouldn't see why they wouldn't try to keep getting them.
And I imagine they have studied at least some players at some point, and they know Steven Shahara is a parrying goalie. He doesn't catch it. He parries it off to the side, so maybe that's what they're looking for, Joe.
From the looks of this night, all 3 of our goalies are parrying goalies. And we're going to have some players checking in for the game. We're going to have number 3, Mitch Rossi, check in, going to come back in, and a Heritage Eagle player, number 21, Dalton Lundberg. Cross from Brandon Inbound down in the middle, looking for Adam Mania. Not quite there. Timothy Irwin scoops up that ball.
Looked like it was almost passed back to him, Joe.
Absolutely. That's a hand. If the ref had seen it the way we saw it, that would have been considered a handball, and that's a penalty kick. You cannot pass the ball back to your own goalie, and he picks it up. It has to come off an unintentional head or chest or another player, but you cannot pass it back to your own goalie.
You really can't, but we had the angle here, Joe, where we're really the only angle in the stadium that could see that, so you can't blame the ref for that one.
You really can't. And these high school refs really do work hard. They're out here committing their time to us, absolutely working so hard to bring us a nice game of soccer.
And tonight, I know sometimes we get upset with the refs, Joe. I'm actually very happy with this reffing team, a very fair, very consistent reffing team, and I'd actually love to see these guys out on the field more.
Absolutely, and Mitch Rossi losing possession in the midfield, plays a long ball to number 6 on the sideline, Bryson Jacobs. Jack Flynn there to cut it out, just a faster player. Number 6 comes away with it anyway. Scott Ryan and Jack Flynn and Brandon Inbound all down in that corner, making sure they don't get anything easy. And it's going to be a goal kick for the Raiders.
And we'll see here if Inbound can get it. Maybe look for Luis Hernandez. He's been wide open. He's wide open again. They've been wide.
You can see him calling for the ball. He wants it. He knows he's open. It's absolute squandering of possession from Brandon Inbound. Not very characteristic the way he plays. I think it's the first and only time we're going to see that kind of kick from Brandon tonight.
I think so. And honestly, Joe, if they just even put one down on Luis's side of the field, he's pretty much the only one there, and he could get to it.
Absolutely. He can even get a goal out of it. It'll be a long throw in for the Eagles. Flicked back from Scott Ryan, and it's going to be a corner kick for the Heritage Eagles. That was a very poor defensive play from Scott Ryan, and he definitely wants it back, but he'll get it back. Corner kick being taken for the Eagles by number 9, Colin Malloy. Sends a low kick, cut out by junior Mitch Rossi, and a foot race to the ball. Looks like number 6.
Bryson Jacobs there going to win that.
Absolutely. Playing it back down to that sideline. Looking for the cross. Jack Flynn cutting it out. Back to Bryson Jacobs. Get his left foot on it. Sends it over the goal. Steven Shahara making sure it goes out, running with it the whole time.
And Steven Shahara looking very alert and almost better than I've seen him perform all season, Joe. Even with his hurt thumb, I really like the way Steven's playing.
Absolutely. And on that last play, you see more of the Heritage Eagle-style Barcelona ball. Quick passes, working a triangle, looking to get down the sideline, and it worked again. You're going to have Heritage Eagles looking to control the ball, looking to their midfield, trying to send it wide. Gets down the corner. Matt Muniz not quite there, and it's going to be a missed shot from the Heritage Eagles. That was absolutely dangerous for the Raider defense. They can't be letting those things in.
And
Scott Ryan looking for a quick throw-in.
I think Scott Ryan saw nobody was behind there to get that ball, and so he easily handled by Steven Shahara there on that long lob. But I think Scott Ryan only let that through because he saw nobody was behind him.
You see Steven Shahara favoring that hand. You saw him catch that ball and shake it. Do you think the Heritage Eagles know his hand is hurt and just trying to pepper him and see if they get something easy to go in?
I think they might, Joe, but I don't think that's a smart play here. Steven Shahara, despite his injury, still a very solid goalkeeper.
Absolutely. Mitch Rossi controlling the midfield, sending out to Christian Nace. Back to Mitch Rossi, trying to get to the ball. Not quite fast enough. Ball going to go out before him. It's going to be a corner kick for the Raiders. Let's see if the Raiders can get something going from this because they really need to get some momentum out of this play.
And I think, Joe, you can almost, if you look where Matt Muniz is, if you send somebody up towards the corner kick taker, maybe send it to Brandon Imbow right around the numbers at the 10, he can really get a good setup, but it doesn't look like the Raiders will do that.
You know, it's looking like the Eagles are leaving that entire front side of the field open. They could potentially send a low cross and have someone one-touch it. Great header from Matt Muniz, just not quite on cage. Had that been on goal, I think it would have been a sure goal for the Raiders.
Quick substitution here for the Eagles. Number 8, Luke Bagnall, coming in here for number 15, Matt Clark. 16, David Harry.
We're going to have a goal kick from Timothy Irwin again. Looking for something in his midfield. He's got a big boot out there. Sends it long, getting to his forwards almost. Christian Nays clears it out. Going to be a Heritage Eagle throw-in.
And it will indeed, with about 24 minutes left to go in the second half of play. We'll see here.
Mitch Rossi sent it to Connor Walsh. Connor Walsh down to the wing to Adam Ania. Not quite there. Going to be a throw-in for the Raiders.
So we'll see here what the Raiders can do. Getting it to Connor Walsh. Doesn't have his headband on. That could affect his play.
I think Connor Walsh is a good enough player not to have to worry about superstitions like that. I think he'll be all right. Mitch Rossi almost controlling that ball. Shot very far out from number 15, Matt Clark. Steven Shahara controls it. Despite that injury, he's playing very well out there.
And I think that confirms your hypothesis, Joe. They are just peppering Steven Shahara, seeing if they can get something to come off or maybe get at his hand a little because nobody takes that shot.
So that's a very low percentage shot, and he didn't even strike it all that well. But maybe they're just looking for their rebounds. It seems as if these Regis Jesuit goalies are parrying goalies. Quick counterattack. Another poor distance shot. Steven Shahara just eating it up with his body again. I don't know what Heritage is trying to do with these long distance shots, but maybe they should start trying something else, Steven.
And Joe, I think Steven Shahara sent a message to Heritage there as he carried the ball up with purely his right hand. He actually had his left hand extended a little, maybe saying to the Heritage players, stop trying this, I'm fine.
He's definitely trying to say that I'm here to play despite this injury. I'm not going to let it get in the way. Mitch Rossi controlling the ball in the midfield, looking to Christian Nays. Christian Nays into Connor Walsh, running with the ball. Big touches on the ball. Beautiful little skill move behind his own leg. And that is going to be a foul on number 17, Clint Corey. Not too pleased with the call, but from our viewpoint, it looked like it was a foul. It's going to be a free kick from the Raiders. Brandon Imbow looking to take it. Do you think Brandon shoots this or crosses it?
Joe, this is that perfect distance where you have no idea. This is 38 yards out. So really interesting here. It'll be good to see. I imagine he'll cross it, though.
Doesn't even look like they put up a wall. Yep, there goes the cross. Looking for Connor Walsh, controlled by Timothy Irwin. It's going to be a clean free kick from the Raiders. Eagles saw it the whole way. Irwin throwing the ball out this time. Haven't seen a lot of that. Right to his midfield. He threw that ball the half length of the field. That's incredible.
And here we go. We'll see. Oh, Adam Mania, great steal.
See Adam Mania turn on the Jets, playing the ball down to Drew Schmidt. Timothy Irwin coming out and sends that ball all the way past our broadcasting booth and into the neighboring plot of land. I think we might as well just kiss that ball goodbye, Steven.
That was our height, too, Joe. I was afraid for a second I was going to get hit, and I never am actually scared to get hit because we are so high and off the field.
That was incredible, and it's going to be a goal kick for the Heritage Eagles. 2 subs coming on. Number 2, Jacob Bruno, and number 11, Zach Melfi. In for number 4, Ryan Barker, and number 17, Clint Corey.
Well, we have a quick break. Shout out to one of our viewers actually on live.regisjesuit.com, Jason Dunlap. And Michael Gavrilovic all the way from Santa Clara, California.
They're really what make this club so great. We have people in different states watching these broadcasts, and that's why we do this, Steven. Looks like it's going to be a corner kick for the Heritage Eagles. It's going to be a dangerous play. They've been working the corners all night. 20 minutes left in the second half of play. We haven't seen a lot of goal opportunities from either team.
Shout out to the brave man who just went and got that ball, Joe. Big thanks to him, and just want to recognize him because that was actually quite a task if you look where the ball went.
Absolutely. And it looks like it's going to be a goal kick for the Regis Jesuit Raiders. Brandon Imbow taking it, sends it long, and that's the Brandon Imbow we're used to seeing.
Definitely is, but this is not the possessive Raiders we're used to seeing. Heritage really controlling the possession. I don't know if a switch just flipped and they started playing a different style. What is up with these shots, Joe?
Another long-distance shot, and you see Steven Shahara ready to parry it the whole way. Parries it right down to his feet and controls it. You can see that the Heritage Eagles know that he parries and looking for that rebound, but he says, not today. I've still got it. Barcelona ball from the Raiders this time, playing that triangle on the sideline, looking for a long ball down the side. Didn't quite get there, got cut out, but it's going to be a Regis Jesuit throw-in. Scott Ryan's going to play it long down to Drew Schmidt. Drew Schmidt's get there with his chest. Quick little touch to Adam Mania. Adam Mania gets cut out and going to be cleared by the Heritage Eagle defense. Jack Flynn controls the ball at midfield, looking to switch the field to Christian Nays. Gets to Matt Muniz. Matt Muniz pushing the middle, looking for something, and sends it deep down into the Eagle territory. No one was there. I think he was just trying to get the ball out of the midfield.
I don't know if he thought Christian was running or not, but going to give
Poor
the
header from the Eagles at midfield. Luis Hernandez doing some beautiful skill moves right in the midfield. Cross to Christian Nays. He's going to get there, touch the ball down. Oh, very, very close to going in. Timothy Irwin, not a very sure save on that, Steven. Looks like he just parried it down with only his left hand.
And, trying to squeeze that hole that he tried to put it through was only about half a ball big, and he almost got it.
No, it's absolutely phenomenal play. Scott Ryan tussling for possession down the sideline. It's going to be a foul on Scott for a jersey tug. Going to be a free kick for the Eagles down inside the cross zone. You think they try to shoot this or cross it, Steven?
I don't think he can score on this angle. I imagine we'll see him cross. Plus, they don't have their shooter out there. They have number 2, Jacob Bruno. So probably be a cross here, but it's going to be really tough unless Walsh's locks get in the way.
And there's the one-man wall. Try to cross it. Very low cross. Cleared out by the Raiders. Going to be a Heritage Eagle throw-in. Got 3 substitutes on for the Eagles. Connor DeLewin, Jake Peterson, and David Harry on for the Eagles.
Taking off really some powerful players there. In goal scorer number 20, Will Herzl, and Bryson Jacobs. So the manager must have seen something he didn't like, or maybe they just need a quick rest, Joe.
Maybe he's trying to go defensive with 17 minutes left in this half, trying to hold on to this 2-1 goal lead. I wouldn't do that as a manager. Maybe he sees something that I don't.
Yeah, I think the Raiders are pressing so much that he just needs a couple defensive-minded players on there just to secure the lead, Joe. He did take off his really aggressive players, maybe so that they don't get counterattacked so easily. That'd be the only thinking I could see.
And on for the Regis Jesuit Raiders, we have Ian Shelton in for Connor Walsh. It's going to be Jack Flynn hustling that ball down, cleared out the sideline, going to be a Heritage Eagle throw-in. You think they're going to play a long throw-in here?
I wouldn't think so. It looks like they're just going to do a short one. And Mitch Rossi will get in the way of that.
Mitch Rossi clears it. Going to be another Eagle throw-in. I think the Raiders really need to control the ball here.
And we'll see here. Quick throw.
Big cross. Cleared out by Brandon Imbow with his head. Drew Schmidt flicks it on to Luis Hernandez in the midfield. Luis, another beautiful skill move flick from Luis Hernandez. He's very good at that, and you can tell he loves to do it too.
And every time, I don't think, most people say, oh, that soccer player's showboating, or he's just showing off his skills. But really, in soccer, skill moves are so useful, Joe, that if you can use them, you want to use them all the time.
They definitely look good, and they play good too, Steven. It really helps. Some phenomenal moves out there. Really helps you get there, get down in the zone, get some crosses in, maybe get some good shots. Goal kick for the Raiders. And Brandon Inbow sending it long. Mitch Rossi getting up, moving to the midfield.
Poor.
It's going to be a Regis throw in. Quick throw in to Ian Sheldon. Cut out again by the Eagles. And the Raiders now on that counterattack. Another quick throw into Luis Hernandez. Good control. Turns it. Looking for something. Gets cut out by 4 Eagle players. And that just goes to show how good Luis Hernandez is. It took 4 players to stop him.
Gonna get through.
Ball's in for the Eagles and right into Steven Shahara's chest. That was a great play by Steven Shahara. You can tell it either hit his hand or knocked the wind out of him. He does not feel good after that, but once he gets up, he's going to be real excited about that save.
Joe, I imagine if you had an eye-level view of the field and you were charging in towards Steven Shahara, his eyes were probably the size of the sun, because he was probably just freaking out there. But great save there and great play by Steven Shahara tonight.
Not only are his eyes the size of the sun, he's got fire in those eyes like the sun. He's absolutely aggressive. Big corner kick from the Eagles. It's going to be a foul on the Eagles. Free kick for the Raiders inside their own box.
And, you know, the Raiders got to get something on. I know they've been playing a good game, but their goal came about that 60 minutes ago.
Mitch
65.
Rossi playing a ball to Adam Anee on the wing. Adam Anee up with his left foot looking for that far post, Christian Nays. Christian Nays not quite there, and that ball is moving quite fast. I don't know if Christian Nays could have gotten to it.
Yeah, Joe, and I just did a quick calculation. Now about 66 minutes ago is when the Raiders scored. So you got to get something going if you're the Raiders.
Absolutely. The Eagles have scored 2 unanswered goals. You gotta get something in these next 13 minutes of play. And be big goal kick from Timothy Irwin, cleared out by the Raiders. Heritage Eagle throw-in on the sideline near midfield.
So we'll see here what Heritage will do. I imagine they'll just play it around in their defense because it has been working because the Raiders can't keep control.
Mitch Rossi flicking that ball on to Ian Sheldon. A very, very poor clearance from number 17 for the Eagles, Clint Curry. Quick restart from the Raiders. Mitch Rossi playing in the midfield, controlling the ball, looking for anything really at that point. Sends it to Christian Nays. Christian Nays crosses it down to Luis Hernandez. Not quite up in the air enough to get the ball. And the Eagles are going to clear it out. Blocked by Mitch Rossi. Adam Anea trying to control the ball. And great play from the Raiders. Great hustle. Ian Sheldon controlling it, pushing it down the sideline, looking for a shot or a cross. And it looks like that was a shot. And cleared out by the Eagles off their own player. Going to be another Regis Jesuit throw-in on the sideline.
And we'll see, Joe, what the Raiders do here. It really seems like number 17 for the Heritage Eagles, Clint Corey, becoming a liability on defense. I'm surprised the coach hasn't taken him out.
He was playing very well earlier in this game, and he's sort of a little shaken up, maybe a little jitters toward the end of this game, trying to hold on to this lead. And here comes Matt Muniz controlling the ball on the sideline, puts it out off the Heritage Eagle player, and it's going to be a throw-in for the Raiders. There's going to be a substitute for the Heritage Eagles, number 20 coming on. Will Hersey, one of our goal scorers for the Eagles. Not quite coming on yet. Mitch Rossi controlling the ball on the sideline, trying to play it forward and get anything going. Going to be Heritage Eagle ball. And now here comes the substitution for number 9, Colin Malloy.
And Colin Malloy playing great offense here tonight. Hasn't really gotten too many touches, but when he has, he's very fast and very effective on the ball. So it'd be interesting to see what Hersey can bring that Malloy didn't have.
Absolutely. It's going to be a throw-in from the Eagles. Sent it down, cleared out by the Raiders. On the sideline, and going to be another throw-in for the Heritage Eagles out by midfield. Eagles looking to take their time getting up to their ball. They're walking to that, trying to eat up some of this clock. And they're going to play a long throw-in, number 17, Clint Corey, who does have some very bright shoes out there, Steven.
He really does, and I love it when players have fun boots, Joe. it really just makes the game so much more exciting because you can identify players purely by their boots. I know Luke Ryan has those bright blue ones that we saw in the first half, and so I just love colorful boots, Joe.
Fun boots, fun football. Counterattack from the Heritage Eagles. Playing a long ball in. Steven Chahara controls it, carrying it in that right hand again, and that is the hand that is hurt. I like to see that. Big boot, clears it out, looking to his midfield. Ian Sheldon going to get it. Goes up, gets his head on it, brings it down. Great play from Ian Sheldon. Cut out by the Eagles. Eagles looking for another counterattack. Play it to their midfield. Looking for the wing. Christian Nays trying to get there. Gets there, cuts the ball out, turns it around. Great play by Christian Nays to Luis Hernandez. Leaves it to Ian Sheldon in the midfield. Going to be cleared out. Foul on the Eagles. Free kick for the Raiders.
Only 60 yards. I imagine we'll see Brandon inbound cross this and try to get a ricochet now that we are at exactly 10 minutes to go in this half.
And here he comes, lining up the free kick. You hear the Heritage Eagle bench asking them to move the ball back to the spot of the foul. It's hard to get it exactly right. There's always some leeway in soccer, but that seemed pretty far. That was 10 yards. Big cross from Brandon Inbow, sending it to the middle. Matt Muniz gets his head on it. Punched out by Timothy Irwin. Another head by Ian Sheldon. Heritage Eagles doing anything to clear it, and there it goes to their number 13 in the midfield, Jake Peterson.
Peterson got the... Oh! That's going to be a foul. Looks like Inbow pulled him down. And that's going to be a yellow on Inbow.
You can hear the Heritage Eagle fans, the bench. That was a very, very aggressive play. They wanted the foul. They didn't get one. Brandon Inbow is going to be coming off. Connor Walsh checking back in for the Raiders. Pardon me, he did get the yellow card, and that's why he subbed off.
So, see here, I don't know if that was a malicious foul or if there was some good acting there by Heritage, but there was the loud O, and from what we saw from our angle, it did look like a foul.
The ref saw it too, gave him a card, gave him a booking, and now he's sitting down. Free kick for the Eagles at midfield. Sending a long cross in, trying to test Steven Chahara. He's out there for it. Ball still in dangerous play. Luis Hernandez turning around, clearing it. Ian Sheldon controls the ball, looking for anything. Ian Sheldon's a very fast player trying to get to the midfield. The counterattack from the Eagles. Playing it far to their their far sideline, and no one is there. Matt Muse is going to take his time.
Brennan Inbow already back on the subbing in table. As you know, in high school, Joe, they have to come off. They get a yellow card, but they can't come right back on. So I imagine that's not the sub they were thinking of making, but Walsh just happened to be on the sideline ready to sub in. So we'll see who comes out when Brendan Inbow gets back in.
Absolutely. We cut out by Matt Muniz. Going to be a corner kick for the Heritage Eagles. Here with 8.5 minutes left in the second half of play. The Raiders really need to get that goal soon if they want any chance of coming away with a point for this game or even winning it.
And, Joe, I really think if they get a goal soon here, that'll swing the momentum. Momentum really in the balance here in the middle. So we'll see if they can get that. They might be able to come away with 3 points.
That'd be absolutely phenomenal for the Raiders. This is definitely a big game. They'd love to win it. But who wouldn't want to win every single game, Steven?
Someone who doesn't want to win every single game, Joe.
Well said. Here comes a goal kick from Brandon Inbow, already back in for the Raiders. Launches it to the sideline. Adam Ania gets a head on it. Number 12 for the Eagles, Ryan Greenway playing into the middle. Big clear from Brandon Inbow. Gets knocked over after he hits that, and you can hear him yell to the ref, "Sir, give me something." He was not happy with that play.
Now we'll see here. Raiders really playing strong in midfield. We'll see if they can turn that into anything.
Mitch Rossi controlling the ball, looking for something. Almost
Walsh.
walks into a double, gets to a triple. Pardon me, Connor Walsh. Great play out there. And he's going to lose the ball. Scott Ryan going to play some sideline defense. Send it down to Brandon Inbow in the corner. Great play. And they're going to be another booking for Brandon Inbow. And that's going to be a second card. That's a red card. You think Brandon Inbow was frustrated from getting knocked over, so he went out and tried to get revenge, and it came back to him?
I don't think so. I think Heritage, Brandon Inbow just getting in some sticky situations where it could have gone either way, Joe. And he got thrown off there with a red card. Definitely not happy about that. And doesn't look like manager Rick Wolf is either.
And now for the next 7 minutes of play, we're going to have the Raiders down a man because if you get a red card, you cannot replace him. They're going to be playing 10v11 for the next 7 minutes. It's going to be very difficult to get that next goal. It's going to be a free kick for the Eagles out on the sideline. Eagles looking for direction from their manager. They get it, and they're going to set up. And it looks like the referee putting away his card, trying to get play to restart soon. And here we go. Big cross, looking for Steven. Side netting, no goal. Kind of a waste of a free kick there, Steven.
It really was. I don't know why you'd shoot that, Joe. That was a worse angle than any angle we've seen tonight. But really, the dynamicism of Brandon Imbow after that play really showing. Oh, you had Brandon the boot Imbow, Brandon the free kick Imbow, and now we got Brandon the bruiser Imbow. So
he's definitely a man of many colors out there, Steven. Drew Schmidt trying to win the ball in the midfield. Going to be another foul on the Raiders at midfield on Drew Schmidt. The Surge not letting this game get out of hand. You'd like to see that. It could have gotten chippy with that red card, but he's trying to keep this game under control.
And I think, Joe, the thing that's going to hurt the Raiders in the long run here is not having Brandon Inbow. Not much so the 10 men, but Brandon Inbow, man of many colors, man of more colors than boots on the field right now. So we'll definitely see if that comes into play with free kicks as they come on later.
It'd be nice to have 11 men on the field, but it'd also be very nice to have Brandon Inbow on the field. Looks like we're going to have Scott Ryan the ball on the wing, back to Connor Walsh. Heritage Eagles playing very aggressive. You hear their goalkeeper barking out slide, asking everyone to mark up because they are up a player, trying to get a lot of pressure on this. Scott Ryan has some great moves on the sideline, plays to Adam Mania. Adam Mania looking to go to the sideline, gets pushed down, and play on from the referee. And that's going to be a foul on Connor Walsh. Connor Walsh is very unhappy with it, falls back over as if he's imitating the other player. That's not good sportsmanship. I think the referee's going to talk to him, maybe give him a card.
We'll see. So, actually, number 13 has a yellow card, so if they give number 13 another yellow, he's gone, and we're a 10-on-10 soccer.
Absolutely. He's definitely giving a stern talking to. He's thinking about it. Connor Walsh was not very happy with that. He went down and acted as if he was asking for a flop. That is not what you want to do, but you can see that was a spur of the moment kind of decision. Free kick for the Raiders. Ian Sheldon's going to take it, look for a cross.
I think Connor Walsh frustrated there by the other player staying down when he clearly dragged Walsh down.
Absolutely. You can even see that Connor Walsh's shin guard flipped out of his sock. Tricky number 13, Jake Peterson with that free kick. Big cross from Christian Ney is going to be right to the goalie, Timothy Irwin.
Searching for Christian Ney's there. So we'll see. Only 4:48 left in this game, Joe.
Big boot from Timothy Irwin. Big touchdown to Steven Shahara, and he controls it just fine. Steven Shahara is playing a phenomenal half of soccer despite that injured right hand. Play on from the referee, and play on's over. There's going to be a foul, free kick for the Heritage Eagles. You don't often see the referee call the foul after the ball's traveled 40 yards, but I feel like he knew that the Heritage Eagles weren't going to get that ball, so they called the foul.
And I think when he was saying no, he was talking to Connor Walsh and Jake Peterson, who were in the last scuffle. They've been scuffling it out there, Joe, and this could be dangerous here if it gets any more escalated.
Yes, they have, and you hear manager Rick Wolf yelling to the referee, asking for an explanation as to what that call was. That seemed pretty clean. And now it's going to be a free kick for the Eagles, looking to shoot right at Steven Shahara. Hits the uprights of the field goal, and it's good.
Actually, that hit side post and out. No good, no 3 points for the Eagles there.
Pardon me, now it's going to be a free kick from Connor Walsh. You hear Mr. Wolf or Coach Wolf or Manager Wolf barking out orders to Scott Ryan. Connor Walsh, not as big and clear as Brandon Inbow to Matt Muniz. Eagles cut it out, trying to get a quick counterattack. Connor Walsh going in there, great play. And Steven Shahara ready for that ball had it been on frame.
And I think if you're manager coach Mr. Wolf, you have to You have to make a change here up front, or at least push more people up front because you're already down. The risk is you either lose by 1 or 2, and guess what? In league play, that doesn't matter how many you lose by. It matters on if you get the win, the draw, or the loss.
Yeah, absolutely. And there's only 3 minutes left in this game. You got to get something going if you want to come away with at least 1 point for this game. There's a quick throw in for the Raiders on the sideline. Ian Sheldon's controlling it in the midfield. Plays it to Luis Hernandez. Tries to get there. Doesn't quite get it cleared out by the Heritage Eagles. And it's going to be back to the Raiders in the midfield. Mitch Rossi controlling the ball. Pass it to Luis Hernandez. Luis gets to Christian Nays. Nays trying to do something with it. Doing some fancy little moves on the ball. Gives it to Scott Ryan. Scott Ryan plays down to Adam Ania. Adam Ania looking to turn and go. And he does, looking to cut it back for the cross. 2 players there using that extra man they have due to that red card. And it's going to be cleared out by number 17, Clint Corey, and his bright yellow boots. And Scott Ryan playing defense down on the sideline. Some elbows being thrown in there, and Connor Walsh clears it out. Steven Shahara, not quite as strong as boot that we'd like to see, but that was a very interesting shot from the Heritage Eagles. Didn't quite connect with it. And it's going to be a better chance for Steven to clear it, and there he goes.
And at this point, if I were Steven Shahara, I might be offended at some of these shots they're putting up. Like, do they honestly think it's going to go in? Do they honestly think I'm going to get a bad deflection? So very interesting choice by the Heritage Eagles. They could put this game away with 1 goal, but really just throwing chances away now.
1.5 minutes left in this game. This game definitely going down to the wire. I'm standing up in this booth. This game is very exciting. Heritage Eagles trying to get the ball in the midfield. Good play by number 20. Will Hersey, goal scorer. Connor Walsh heads back to the midfield. Mitch Rossi trying to get something going. Plays it back to Scott Ryan. Scott Ryan looking. Plays it to Luis Hernandez. Luis Hernandez, great touch on the ball. Back to Mitchell Rossi. Mitch Rossi, 1 touch. Try to get it Ian Sheldon. Ends up with Drew Schmidt. Drew Schmidt plays it in the air to Christian Nays. Headed out by number 10, Michael Day. And it's going to be a throw-in for the Raiders on the sideline with 55 seconds left in this game.
And you saw Drew Schmidt just giving out the time to the Raiders there, making sure they know where they are.
Big kick from Connor Walsh. Almost there. Another foul on the Raiders. You can't go in and hit the goal. That was a very clear foul. We have 30 seconds left in this game. Timothy Irwin going to take his time lining up this goal kick. Launches it to the midfield. Matt Muniz trying to get there, and he does. Going to be out of bounds. Throwing for the Eagles. Steven, what do you have to say about this game? You think the Raiders can get a goal in the next 20 seconds?
I don't know. They're taking so much time. Christian trying to get them to play it. They are taking their sweet time. And I think that boot up might just kill it.
10 more seconds in this game. Matt Muniz trying to clear it. Number 2, Jacob Bruno has it. Number 12 making a big run, Ryan Greenway. And that's going to be the final buzzer for this game. And we have your final score with the Heritage Eagles 2, your Regis Jesuit Raiders 1. Thank you for tuning in to our game tonight. I'm Joe Quigley.
And, Joe, sorry to cut you off here, but just a few final words about the game. I think the Raiders really got a little unlucky today. They played some great football out there, really started using all of the tools they had and just couldn't pull one out. So I think if you're the Heritage Eagles, you got to be feeling good about your play, but you also got to be feeling lucky. For my Regis player of the game, Joe, I think I got to give that to Steven Shahara. He was absolutely fantastic back there. And Heritage player of the game, I've just got to give it their entire midfield, really. They really controlled the ball there in the second half.
Absolutely. Steven Shahara is also my Raider player of the game. He went out there, got a clean sheet for his half, even with his hurt thumb. And the Heritage Eagle player of the game for me is Timothy Irwin. They're also their goalkeeper. He had a phenomenal game. An absolute rock back there after that first goal given up in the early minutes of the game. Early minute of the game, pardon me. If you're manager Rick Wolf, what do you say to your team right now?
You know, I don't think there's really much you can say. And the Raiders did play such a fantastic game. And I think the Heritage coach will probably have more to say to his team just because they did have a little more luck. So we'll see here. But here from Lou Kellogg Stadium, I'm Steven Snyder with my commentator, Joe Quigley, my producer, Joe Quigley, and my cameraman, Joey Bennell, here signing off from Lou Kellogg Stadium. Tune in tomorrow night at 7 p.m. for the Regis Jesuit Raider versus Cherokee Trail football Cougars, Cherokee Trail. I'm not sure the mascot. Football game tomorrow night. Thank you. Signing off. This is Steven Snyder.